Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Can man, the hell with rap. I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome, ass. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white Vigors. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah. I don't like niggas, what's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight, nigga.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and New York, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog app. Use code Mase, Cam, or STAT to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash with your first deposit and a free pick. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts Mase and Kim.
Hello, what's good, man?
What's good, bro?
Thanks for the glasses, man.
Yeah, that's the least I could do, man.
Oh, man.
I ain't really want to talk about. I have an extensive glasses collection, but I see that shit thing up here, so I don't really interfere with it. Just once in a while. So when I was out shopping, I said, let me grab my man Murder some shits, man.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy. I hope you like them, man. I hope they up to par for you, man. Yeah, anytime, man.
Nice. Okay, so y'all, we gotta talk about New York. This stat came out. Gotta get you guys' reaction. So New York City is the first metro area to lose a game in Major League Baseball, NBA, Major League Soccer, and NFL on the same day in the regular or postseason. I thought that was a very interesting stat that they let out. So what do you guys think after hearing that? And how do you guys feel about the state of New York sports right now?
When you think of that statement, just to say they're losing all over the board, that's what I heard. You know, you got the Giants losing, you know, which is understandable. They lost to Pittsburgh. They're now 2-6. But it's this World Series loss that's really getting to me. I don't think they're supposed to lose Game 3, especially they had Fat Joe come out there, get the crowd all hyped up, only to lose. That was really not good. And then I didn't see the soccer game, but it just brings that spirit back to what Killer said to Sin City. So, Sin, if you're watching this, winning goes through the ladies. The ladies are the only ones that's winning. You got the NFL losing, the NBA losing, and they lost to Cleveland. Cleveland is a good team, but with all of the things that have happened on this New York Knicks team, they're not supposed to be losing the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I'm just appalled that this is the mindset. Right when I said I might go with the Knicks, this is what you do. I understand what Killer is saying now. Every year, NY stands for next year. This is not going to be the year. Let's just go for next year, 2025.
Yeah, not shocked. It's really not surprising to me.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we're actually used to as New Yorkers. So who lost that? I know it's the Knicks and the Giants and the Yankees, and there's somebody else.
Yeah, the soccer, the football club, so the New York City
soccer team.
Yeah.
Yeah, now they're starting to rub off on the soccer team.
Who's our soccer team?
The New York City Football Club. That's just it.
You know about them niggas?
Hmm.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know.
What are their colors?
Blue?
Missed out on. Look,
I don't know the
We
women's
don't even
soccer
know their
team. I don't know the
I'm
colors.
gonna
women's
be
soccer
honest
team.
with you. I'm not saying that, and
Yeah.
I don't want to shit because a lot of niggas love soccer, and I love soccer too. But I have to get used to the Americans. Like, all the popping soccer players that I know about, Ronaldo. Ronaldo got the most followers on Instagram for males, for niggas. Look, Stat know about Ronaldo. Nigga, Ronaldo got
It's like that.
Yeah, he like that. I ain't gonna hold you. Ronaldo's like that. Like Messi, he's in America now because you know what the way it is? America's soccer is kind of like overseas for basketball for Americans. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over there. I know I'm 41. I could go over there and still kill these niggas. That's why Messi out here acting crazy. Not only they gave him a shitload of money, but he's getting older and he wasn't the man like he was overseas. But over here, he's that nigga like he was. Like, if a nigga from overseas, from here that can still play in the NBA goes over there and kills, kind of like Stephon Marbury.
I was about to say that.
You know,
they get a statue over there.
Yeah, win championships and all type of shit. So Messi's over here killing, but I don't know the New York, or I know the Galaxy, I guess, the LA guy, I don't know. But you got to think about the other nigga started that shit, the Spice Girl husband nigga. What was the nigga name? I forget that nigga name. You know,
blonde nigga.
Yeah, he was
David
Beckham.
Beckham.
Yeah, the Beckham nigga. He the one first nigga came over here with that shit. And then niggas like, oh, you could get paper over there? Cool, but you ain't gonna get the paper like that. A lot of these chicks too, Murder, I don't know if you know. Sorry to draw off the New York thing for a minute. Like, the bitches who know, they don't even go for the basketball players. You know how we was talking about niggas running to the saber? They go get the soccer niggas. Because the soccer niggas make way more than the basketball niggas. I know a few females that go fuck with soccer niggas in the off season over there because they giving out way more money to these bitches. And then at the end of the day, you don't even know who they are. So the bitches is still low key could come over here and fuck with them. Like, I was dealing with this
more
girl.
than baseball?
Yeah, I'm soccer niggas.
International soccer players make
them niggas make. No, I'm talking murder. It's ridiculous.
Not even close.
Niggas, yeah, it's like murder niggas are making $120 million a year, like on a 3-year deal. Like it's like
Niggas gotta switch their sports.
Yeah, I mean you're not gonna eat over here. We not good enough to go over there. So you got to get better. If you want to fuck with them niggas, you got to get better. But I know a few females who fuck with them soccer niggas. They go fuck with them in the off season. Couple dollars here and there, and then they come back. I was dealing with one of them at a time, popular female, and she's like, Cam, you know, I like him and everything, but it's just like a culture difference for our culture. You know, if it wasn't the culture difference, I don't know, I might could do it, but it's just a gap in our culture. And I'm like, I ain't doing half the shit he doing for you. So if it's a money thing, stay where you at. If you just want real niggas, you're in the right place. But I'm just telling you, them niggas get way more bread. Back to New York, though, I'm not really surprised. And when Mase said, I was going to say, if he didn't say it, we got to stop, yo, for real. And niggas be mad at me and be like, Cam, what happened to you? What happened to, yo, you need to go listen to an NWA album. You ain't listening to old Snoop. This is exact verbiage that I'm getting because I'm giving the Liberty props. And I'm like, yo, why y'all hating on women is bad? And I think that some people didn't grow out of it because like Mase said, we kind of grew up in that culture in the early 90s, late 80s, where it was okay to just say fuck bitches. And sometimes bitches deserve that. But sometimes it's just uncalled for. Like this situation with the Liberty. Niggas is hating on the Liberty. I'm going to put you on blast too today, even though you my nigga. Sebastian Telford, you sending me DMs of the Liberty Parade with nobody there saying it's empty. We already spoke. It's about 4 different players, former players that used to play. It's hating on the Liberty winning. Now look, I don't care if nobody showed up to their parade. I don't care if nobody showed up to the game. I don't care if nobody was watching it on TV. You cannot negate that they are champions. They are the champions one way or another. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. They are the champions. So you could sit there and say, nah, don't be lit like when the Knicks play. Or the one, niggas even went to the Rangers murder. Niggas, you heard everything niggas talking about.
Rangers, like they watched the Rangers.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is even if the Rangers talking about, or the Rangers should be popping. Yo, stop. They talk about the Rangers don't be winning. I had to go. The Rangers ain't win since '94. Monk, Messi, and these things. Yo, bro, y'all got to stop. I like the ladies, and they've been winning. Cut it out until further notice. The championships, and now it ain't over for the Yankees, but the championships, period, sport-wise, until further notice, runs through the Liberty.
There you go.
There was a lady really upset about the Liberty winning. We was in the store and she was arguing about that call. We was in Louis Vuitton. She kept arguing. She said, well, I used to do dancing or do the choreography for the Minnesota team. And she was really upset with that call.
Yeah.
It was a bad call.
Yeah, it was.
It was definitely a bad
Still
call.
controversial.
So did they steal a chip?
Well, to me, to be honest with you, that's a possibility, but that comes with getting a home court advantage.
Yeah. That's
right. That's what you play the regular season.
Better, so you can have home court.
Yeah.
So you can steal it from niggas.
Right, exactly.
See, because you didn't do that, you got it stolen from you.
Exactly. That's what the regular season. That's what the regular season is about. You play hard so you can get home court advantage throughout the playoffs. Does it work all the time? Not necessarily, but it matters.
Yeah,
it matters.
This is why you don't do load management.
Yeah. I mean, it is still a controversial call, but again, shout out to the Liberty because I still feel like they deserve this.
Was it that controversial?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was bad.
So then they stole a chip.
I don't want to say that.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. It's bad calls all the time in any sport.
It cost the game.
Yeah.
And they stole the chip.
Yeah.
Is that what it's? Come on, Stat.
Yeah.
Would you want to, if your daughter was playing, did they steal it?
If my daughter,
was playing,
if my daughter was playing, then no. But y'all know the saying I always say.
If you could do it,
they got their win, their first one at that.
If your daughter was playing, did they steal it, Killer?
If my daughter played for the Minnesota, I'm going to tell her this is why you work for home court advantage. It's just, this is what I'm saying.
He's sticking with his story.
Like that.
Yeah, I mean, I can sit there and say they stole it, but are you going to sit there? It's like fighting.
Yeah.
When the boxing match, you know a nigga lost, but you go to the scorecards and they give him the victory. To me, my point is really no moral victories.
Yeah, knock them out there.
Yeah, it's like we sitting here, let's say for instance, right, and this is all friends and family of the show that I'm about to talk about, but we sit there and say how Devin Haney's going to get his win back because Ryan was cheating, which was the fact. He was cheating, he was juiced up, etc. But can we unsee what we seen?
No.
Exactly. You seen it.
You did see that.
Right, exactly. So you could sit here and say his win is null and void as far as Ryan's concerned, and Devin Haney get the victory and no contest or whatever it is, but you can't unsee it.
Yeah, we can't scrub the internet.
Right.
Right.
You know, they sit there and say that with the Patriots murder. Like, for instance, the Patriots 2 championships, they saying that one of them, they saying there should be an asterisk next to it because Tom Brady was deflating the footballs, Deflategate.
Deflategate.
When you go on Google and say who won 2000 XA, it doesn't have an asterisk.
Yeah, it doesn't say Deflategate.
Yes, it just says championship.
It just say champs.
Exactly. So that's what I'll say. But I understand your point if it's a family member.
It's a little different.
I mean.
That's why we got to tell people the truth.
No, I agree with you, but it's not going to change the point.
Yeah.
If you say you stole it, okay, it's like if you could tell your cousin she could sing it, but she can't sing. Family always gonna have family back. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that it's gonna change the outcome.
That's actually a great example. Okay, so let's talk a little bit of NFL. So Texans wide receiver Stephon Diggs has a torn ACL and will miss the rest of the season. He is also on an expiring contract and set to become a free agent this offseason. So Mase, after hearing that, how does this impact the Texans, and how do you feel about him being out for the rest of this season?
I think both of these statements are the same, whether we're talking about how it affects him or how it affects the Texans is the same way. They both need him there. He needs to be there, and they need him there simply because he was playing some of his best football. It looked like he was enjoying playing. And it seemed like he was enjoying himself so much, pause, that when he made the turn or whatever he did, when he blew out his knee, he was able to walk back to the to the locker room. So it looked like he was gonna make it, but it's something about those knees, pause, that just it just happens all the time. I didn't say pause.
You did.
It was just so funny.
It's just something about the knees. It might be unpausable.
I mean, the guy need all his faculties to keep up those 500 yards. It seemed like he was up to about 500 yards, about to have another All-Pro season, and it just was cut short. I think this is a huge blow for the Texans, and not to even mention that they now have all of these wideouts, pause, that that may not even play well for them. They're very low on wide receivers now.
Yeah, that was great points. Absolutely, I agree with everything that Mase said. Definitely a big loss for the Texans. I know Stephon Diggs is really disappointed. One of the better wide receivers that we have in the league. But if you're in Buffalo, you might be smiling. Might be laughing. I'm not laughing. I don't think it's funny at all, but Josh Allen and them might be smirking like this. He's talking crazy, right? You want to get out of here, right? Shit is over this season. Niggas in Buffalo might be happy about this situation, the way that Stephon Diggs left. Like I said, I'm not wishing any of that. I'm just telling you what's real. Niggas might be like, yeah, that might have happened to us, and we've been out of wide receivers. Karma. I'm not saying karma. It happens to everybody. People get hurt. The most disappointing factor is for Stephon Diggs is, how old is Stephon Diggs that when you get
He's
a minute?
30.
Okay, he's not that old for a wide receiver. But the most disappointing factor for Stephon Diggs in this scenario is that his contract's expiring. And when you go back to try and get a new contract, they're going to bring this up. Are you the same Stephon Diggs? Are you say it's explosive? Can you do the same things, et cetera? And it's going to be used against him when it's time to renegotiate or get a new contract with somebody else. So speedy recovery to Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
I hope everything works out for you in the future. And I hope when this new contract comes up that you get the pay that you deserve, because I think you are one of them guys.
Yeah, great takes.
Yeah, and actually, these wide receivers that's going to get more snaps is going to actually hopefully put pressure on that, because as they start getting more snaps, whether you're talking about Tank, Xavier, John, or Robert, all these new wide receivers getting more play is going to have some say in what they bring back and how they bring them back and what his pay will be like, because they're definitely, if they play well, then people start thinking they can go in a different direction. So we wish them
absolutely right.
Recovery on.
Absolutely. What I was going to say is, whether it's the Texans or anybody else, they're going to use this against them, my opinion.
Yeah, I just want to add, definitely hope Stephon Diggs has a speedy recovery. We've seen a lot of injuries in the NFL specifically recently, especially with wide receivers. So I don't really know what's going on, but I'm hoping that they can all get back healthy. We know that the Texans don't have Nico Collins right now. He's on injury reserve. They're hoping that he can come back before their game on Thursday, but that's not confirmed. So with Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins out, they have Tank Dell, who is fine now, but he also did get shot earlier in the year back in Florida. Then they have Xavier Hutchinson, who's a little bit younger. So there's just been a lot of issues across the board, hoping that the Texans can figure it out. If not, the trade deadline will be next week, so maybe they'll do something there. But I don't really know how much they'll be able to do in this period of time. So shout out to the Texans. We'll see what happens. Maybe CJ Stroud can pull through and other players will be able to step up in those positions that are now vacant, but it's a lot to see what will happen. Okay, so moving along. The other episode, we actually talked about Anthony Richardson and his post-game presser basically saying that he was tired. The Colts decided to bench him and turn to Flacco as the starter for their next game versus the Vikings. So Richardson will remain benched. Mase, do you believe the Colts made the right decision?
I 100% believe they made the right decision. Just when you have a quarterback, and he may mean well, he may found that to be like his moment of clarity or truth, where he was being honest. Is just, those are words you never want to hear from your leader. Forget just your quarterback, your leader. The leader of this team is saying this, and it spews out just the wrong heart, the wrong, everything about it is wrong. I don't think you win with somebody like that, and I don't want to damn his whole career. But this is something that is going to haunt him. Like I said yesterday, I knew when he stated it that it's one of those situations and statements that'll follow you your entire career. Like, you think this is just something you said, and it pops up everywhere year after year. And some players don't live it down. So I hope he come back with a vengeance. I hope he comes back when he finally get a chance to play again. Never bring that up again. And we're saying this because, we want you to do well. That was a bad take.
They gonna blame us for this. Niggas blame us for everything. Word to mother. They gonna be like, yo, Cam and Mase said it, so niggas listen and bench the nigga because we said it before this actually happened. And whatever, if you want to, because niggas is blaming us, or rather, Son and his friends is blaming us. Seriously, this is dead ass. I can't come up here and make this up. They're blaming Mase and myself for DiVincenzo and what's my nigga name?
Randall.
Also interpreted with
And Randall to go into Minnesota and catch. They saying this all our fault that we
put that out there.
We put that out there. Niggas from the Knicks organization is listening to what we saying. It's influential, and we're the reason that Cat's in New York and Randall and DiVincenzo is in Minnesota. Because when the playoffs was going on last year, all we were doing was making observations saying that the offense usually runs through Julius Randle, and Julius Randle isn't there, and it's looking like the offense is going to be ran through Jalen Brunson moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And because we say that, it's our fault that niggas got traded. I'm just telling you, this is the shit that I got to hear. That we, if that's the case, I wish I get the check for it. The niggas is getting like what the GMs is getting, or like I said, consultation. Like Bob Myers are one of them niggas.
Yeah.
But yeah, we said this yesterday actually, or the day before. I'm not sure what day on the show, saying this was a terrible thing to say, and now you're on the bench.
Yeah, that was actually just yesterday.
Yeah, maybe they are listening.
Maybe they are listening.
Maybe they are listening.
So you think if we wear some Nick paraphernalia, the Knicks will win?
I have no idea. I just think that they say once we put it in the air, then shit start happening. It's basically our fault. This shit happened because we said something about it.
Yes, Sin. Do you think if I wear all Nick paraphernalia, you guys are going on a winning streak?
Right, exactly, because you put it in the air.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe you should test it out.
It was an influential trade.
As Mace's consultant, they have to pay for that. They can't just have him up here wearing Nick Skellies and everything else. That's called advertising, free advertisement, and he needs to be paid and compensated if that's the case. I'm gonna have to say no to that. Yeah, we wear it if we want to style one day. We just not gonna be up here with his Nick scarf and Skelly and all that. He has to be paid for that type of advertisement.
PT, where the trophy at? Y'all won the game, huh? Title Town, we back again, baby. 2 in a row.
Shout out to my man Mark. We need to bring Mark up here one day because we asked on this show about if 2 white men could lead a basketball team to a championship in the NBA. I don't know about the NBA, but on Tuesday mornings, our leading players for the Is What It Is team are white. And I'm not talking about white bread. I'm talking about white human beings. And they kill every week. So shout out to Mark. We appreciate you naming the team. And thanks for bringing the trophy. This is 2 back-to-back trophies. We repeat champions. Back-to-back,
Mark should go play. Y'all should get Mark on the Knicks.
Title Town. Don't push it now, Larry.
Y'all got the influence.
Yeah.
Okay.
But hold on real quick because I wasn't finished. But back to Joe Flacco real quick. I think that he should have not started. Pardon me. I don't think that he should have been benched when Richardson came back, to be totally honest with you. He's playing good. He has a QBR 73.7, 65% completion, 716 yards, 7 touchdowns in the games that he played. Now, like I said, the game that he did lose, it wasn't his fault. I think since last year when they got Joe Flacco off the couch at Cleveland, he showed and proved that he had a lot of game left. The reason he left Baltimore, because you had somebody named Lamar fucking Jackson, who was just fucking incredible, and you don't get that kind of talent. So he left kind of on a bad note, thinking that he can't play anymore. And as we see, Joe Flacco has a lot of football left in him. So I'm wishing him luck, but I don't think he should have ever been benched, even when Richardson said he was healthy.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Richardson, he even though he was picked fourth of all, he struggled with accuracy and turnovers since the day he came in. And when he left out, he had more turnovers than he had touchdowns. So he leave out when he finally says he's tired with 8 interceptions, 7 touchdowns, and that just won't cut it. That's a poor ratio, and we want you to do well, and we're expecting you to do better, but we just have to tell the truth.
Okay, and then Nick Bosa is getting a lot of mixed reviews after video bombing Brock Purdy's Sunday Night Football postgame interview wearing a MAGA hat. When asked about it later on, his response was, "I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I think it's an important time." So Mase, I'm going to let you go first. What's your opinion on it? And then do you think he's going to face punishment for wearing the hat?
I think it's even amazing that you say, is he going to face punishment just because he have on a hat that says MAGA? Realistically, every person should be able to view their beliefs. Express their beliefs. You should be able to say what you believe, long as it's not, like damaging to other people in a physical or sometimes spiritual way. But if he likes Trump, he should be able to wear that hat. No different than if somebody was wearing a Kamala jersey. Do you think people would say, was he going to face backlash for wearing a Kamala t-shirt or hat? I just think we're in a sensitive time where people tend to just champion what they believe and they don't allow other people to have their own voice. And I think even if I don't agree with something, we got to get back to allowing people to have their own voice, because if not, we're just creating a fake environment. Because I could like Trump, but that don't mean you have to like Trump. And that don't mean you're my enemy because you like Trump. And I think that's the maturity that we have to get to. Because if it came down to one or the other, of course, somebody's going to vote one or the other, but that shouldn't make us enemies. And I think right now people are allowing people's presidential preference to make them enemies, and that's immature.
I don't really think it's nothing new as far as what Mase just said. To be totally honest with you, this has been going on for years. Actually, before the internet, people used to keep their opinion to themselves on who they voting for. Like, yeah, I'm not telling them, like Stat, I'm not telling niggas who I'm voting for. And no, what I'm saying is that I'm not even putting you on blast. I'm saying that's how niggas be rolling.
Yeah.
Nobody. Yeah. It's like you can sit there, like the nigga Chris Rock made a joke years ago, and he'd be like, yo, who you voting for? And they be like, yo, man, you getting a little too personal. Like, yo, you're actually in my business now. But back to the topic, my wife was sucking my dick last night and ate my ass and this, that, and the third. They'll talk about all type of shit, but won't tell you who they're voting for. That was actually at one particular time held sacred, and you wasn't supposed to say who you were voting for. But fast forward into what Mase said, it's in an era where you're absolutely right. You shouldn't be able to be not cool because you don't like one person and another person likes another person. Like right now, two of my friends are really beefing. Like Jacob York and Duke the God are in a real battle right now where they're angry. Jacob's laughing. Duke is mad at Jacob. They're beefing because they have two different opinions. And it's really like to the point where Duke says he can't answer for Jacob because Jacob stresses him out and he doesn't see the vision on what's really going on in this country. So, and it's bad. Like I'm talking about really, Duke is really angry, like screaming. I'm like, yo, you gotta relax. And that's the way it is. But to be totally honest with you, Democrats to me and Republicans are set up like gangs. One is blue, one is red. One don't like this, one's the left, one's the right. It's set up to me a political gang if you're really asking or looking at the scenario. When you sit there and watch the election, they have it in blue and red. When the states are winning, oh, it's a blue state, or it's a red state. This went blue, the Republicans won this. Is like, to me, it's just set up that way anyway. But to Mace's point, I don't think we're going to get past it. I think people will get over it. But every 4 years when this comes around, people are going to get sensitive and have attitudes and don't understand why. And you're right. I have friends, there's Bloods and Crips, and they cool with each other. In real life, I'm talking about. And if they could be cool, why can't the Republicans and Democrats, no matter what you believe?
Stat and the Republicans be cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. But I'll be one thing for sure is that I'm going to stay away from it myself because it's too touchy. When you say certain things about certain people, they get touchy, they get attitudes. And to be totally honest with you, instead of saying something which you believe in and somebody be mad at you later, just be quiet until January because there'll be new shit to talk about. Right now, it is very, very sensitive. And because of the internet, it's more, what's the word? It's more magnified because people are actually giving their opinion. So now you have somebody like Taylor Swift saying, I watched the debate last night, and after further review, I'm going with Kamala, and that's my vote. Yeah. So now all the Swifties be like, okay, that's what we got to do. Is it Bosa?
Yeah.
Bosa comes out with a MAGA hat. Now Bosa fans be like, okay, that's what we doing, Bosa? Okay, whatever the case is, but like Mase said, to face backlash behind it, if that's who you want to vote for, I don't even think it should be a discussion of backlash. That's who you want to vote for. But I think it's very, very sensitive right now, not just because it's Trump, because to me, you could say Indian, you could say Jamaican, you say whatever. It's black against white. And they are right. They, to me, people like, we gave y'all one, nigga. All right? How many do y'all want? And people don't like it. I seen a bumper sticker murder. It said Obama. Then I had what Obama stood for. It said, one big ass mistake, America. And I'm like, in a pickup truck with Confederate flags on it, driving through PA. I'm like, me get the fuck out of here. I'm like, you know my stance. I don't really care either way, my personal opinion. But what I do think we need to do, if you mess with Trump, if I'm like I said, I don't care either way. If you're a Trump fan and you're black and Trump doesn't win, somebody should make a card to say, I fuck with Trump. Because it might be civil war the way niggas is acting. I'm not promoting that, but the governor from Ohio said if Trump don't win, we may need to have a civil war. And the whole crowd was like, yeah, that's what the fuck we need to do. So I don't wish this happens, but we don't know what people may do if Trump doesn't win. And if you fuck with Trump and you black, these niggas may be out with their pistols. You may need to just be like, nah, I'm one of y'all, and show your card. That's my opinion, because this shit could get rocky if it don't go Trump's way.
Yeah, this is a very racial election, and it seemed like it's racist on both sides. Though I would say that.
Yeah,
I see people like, and I wouldn't say well I vote for it, but I see people who just simply like, I'm voting this way just because it's a woman, or I'm voting this way just because it's a white guy, or I'm voting this way just because she's black. I think all of it is racist. I don't think one side is better than the other side. I think they're both pretty much doing the same thing.
One thing for sure though, out of all this shit, what I take from this shit every 4 years, even when Trump may be one of the funniest niggas in the fucking world. That nigga's hilarious. That nigga said Joe Biden's sleeping. Camilla's at a dance party with Beyonce. Then what do black people do? I love black people too. We take that clip and turn it into a song, and now everybody's on TikTok talking about dance party of Beyonce with Trump voice in the background. You seen that, Snap?
Yeah, I did.
Dance party with Beyonce. I said, we don't take nothing serious, yo. I love that clip. But yeah, we're in some sensitive times. I hope everybody's well, and do your thing, man.
Yeah. I'm going to say I'm just not a fan of people making their decisions based off of who endorses what. Because, I mean, we talked about Nick Bosa. We talked about Taylor Swift. We talked about Beyonce. I just feel like if you're getting your information from your favorite person. That's just not the way to go.
celebrities.
Yeah, like that's just unrealistic. Like you shouldn't be making those decisions based off of what somebody else says. Ultimately, that decision comes to you. And that's why I always say, look at the policies that are important to you and make your decision that way. As far as Nick Bosa, I mean, I think that there has to be kind of like, it has to be fair on both ends, because I think ultimately, I don't think that people like when athletes get involved with politics. And that's not for me to say that you can't do that. Because again, if that's something that you're very passionate about, you should be able to speak amongst that. But we've seen players over the years get fines for, conveying personal messages or like doing acts that are important to them. So with the Nick Bosa situation, wearing a MAGA hat behind Brock Purdy, it's like, if that's how he feels, I feel like he should be able to do that, just like somebody else should be able to do the same thing. But there's no regulation for that to say that this is okay and that's not okay. And that's kind of where it gets rocky. I do believe, though, if Nick Bosa is going to wear the MAGA hat in your post-game interview, what is allowed, you are allowed to talk about your political views. That was the time to do so. You said it's an important time. So if you're going to make a strong statement, stand by it. That was the exact time to be like, I'm voting for him because of this, and that. So I think kind of stepping back out of that role doesn't really make sense to me. Stand for what you stand for. Speak on it if that's what you want to do. And if you don't, then don't do it. But if you're already going to have the action of, wearing the paraphernalia, might as well stick to it. So that's my opinion on it. But again, election day is next week. Y'all make sure you vote.
Let me ask you something real quick, Stat.
Yeah.
He did that. He wore the hat right after the game.
Yeah.
And then after the game, he said that this ain't the time to talk about it.
Yeah, he specifically said, I'm not going to talk too much about it. Yeah, so the post-game interview, he said, I'm not going to talk much about it, but I think it's an important time. But when Brock Purdy was doing his interview, he was all like, I was like, why don't you just stick to that?
No, I dig that.
So, yeah.
49ers might been like, calm all that shit the fuck down. Then go on your page with that shit, nigga. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, for him to do that in San Francisco is very bold.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go to break. When we return, we will talk about the cast for season 2 of Netflix's Starting 5. Don't go anywhere.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. My stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it, wanna be free.
Welcome back. Now let's get into our underdog picks of the day. Today, the Lakers will play the Cavs. Underdog has LeBron James at 22.5 points. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
I'm going higher.
Okay.
High as well. LeBron out here kicking ass this season, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Anthony Davis is at 43.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Do you have him higher or lower, Kim?
43?
He been balling. See, this Laker team, we'll talk about it in a minute. I'm going to go higher.
43 would be 50.
No way. All three combined.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go higher.
Okay.
Going higher.
If he don't get hurt.
Facts. Okay. Donovan Mitchell's at 5.5 first quarter points. Do you have him higher or lower,
Higher.
Mase?
Higher.
Okay. You guys like these picks? Remember, you always get a free pick if you're not already on Underdog. So make sure to support the show. Sign up now and you can make your picks too. So we were going to talk about Netflix's Starting 5 cast, but first, because we did start talking about the Lakers, let's get into that really quick. So the Lakers are currently 3-1, only losing to the Suns on Monday. From what you've seen, Mase, how do you feel about the Lakers as a whole right now?
I believe it's still early for them. They're a player away from being a dangerous team. I think right now this is good just to start with, but I don't think this is something you can keep up. It won't be able to be sustained when you get a healthy Steph back, when Denver figure out what they're doing with their lineup, when Luka is only going to get better, Ja Morant is on a tear with Edie Pauls. I don't see where the Lakers really will be dominant unless they get another player. If they get another player, they're right there. even with a LeBron, because LeBron is doing what he does. You know what I'm saying? If nothing changes the trajectory of where he's going, he'll have another 20 and 8 season. But if you get another player, they could be right there in the finals, right there in the semifinals with another player. But they need to get the other player. I'm not sure if that's Zach LaVine or whoever else is out there. But if they get another player, they're dangerous.
I like this start actually for the Lakers. They look very impressive with this 3-1 start. And I think if Anthony Davis plays the way he's been playing these first 4 games, that the Lakers can make some noise. Does it equal the championship? I'm not sure. But it equaled the championship in the bubble when Anthony Davis takes this responsibility on and plays the way he's playing and let LeBron be the 40-year-old basketball star that he is and still putting up phenomenal numbers. It's finally the season, it looks like, that Anthony Davis says, okay, I'm going to drive this car. Okay, Bron, send the passes, he get in the back. I'm going to drive. This looks like the season. Will it be sustained, to Mace's point, is the question. Not just sustained as far as him playing good, his health. That's the only question that we have for Anthony Davis the last 5, 6, 7 years is his health. Anthony Davis, with one particular time, was projected as a top 3 player in the NBA when he was playing with the New Orleans Pelicans. And that's the reason why LeBron and Rich Paul wanted him with the Lakers and did all type of tricks and other shit to get him with the Lakers. So where Anthony Davis wasn't even playing fourth quarters with the New Orleans Pelicans, when they was like, just get this nigga the fuck out of here if you ain't gonna play the fourth quarter. And they got him there, and it panned out for a championship in the bubble, but hasn't been the same since. Anthony Davis healthy puts this team at least in the Western Conference Finals. But the Mase made a great point. Can it be sustained? And that's the real question.
Yeah, there's a lot to look at there, but I think a lot of praise has to go to JJ Redick because I think at first we didn't think that the Lakers, and I know it's still early, but we didn't know how he was going to fit with the team chemistry. But even seeing the way that he's talking to LeBron, like I see him on the sidelines telling LeBron, shoot the effing ball. Like I've never even seen a coach talk to LeBron in that kind of way, because it looks like JJ's actually having his way. People thought they were going to be a little bit nicer, but like, no, he's been standing his ground. And then also with AD, I know we're a little nervous about his injuries, but they're making sure Jackson Hayes is getting his reps in as well. He's obviously not equivalent to AD, but if something were to happen there, they're making sure that he's getting his points up, stuff like that. So the Lakers are off to a good start. I'm going to give them their praise because we tend to, especially last season, we've said a lot.
I can't give JJ Redick no clout just yet. No, because they haven't faced adversity yet. Everything is good when it's good. You don't know who you're with till things go bad. As long as things are good, everybody can find a reason to do what's right. Him saying shoot the ball, that works when you're 3-0. Let them go on a bad road trip and come back 3-3, and let them say the same thing to LeBron. LeBron be like, hold up. It's easy to let them do that while they're winning. And I don't take this away from them because they have played the Suns twice. They played Minnesota and they played the Kings. These are all formidable opponents. So they are playing good in that regard. But I got to see them in some adversity first. Like Cam said, you want to see if Anthony Davis' health holds up. We want to see how LeBron holds up. We want to see what happens when Bronny, you know what I'm saying, when people start calling for something to happen with Bronny. All these things are going to show what he's made of. Right now, I can't go with that just yet. I got to see adversity. I don't judge nobody without seeing them in adversity. As long as people are soaring, you don't know who they are until they hit adversity. Then you find out what they really made of. And we don't know that yet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was just going to add to your point. Technically, like when he was yelling at LeBron, it was on the road game versus the Suns, which is the one that they lost, which the Suns have been off to a pretty good start so far. Like I said, it's still early in the season. But even down to just like making decisions to like I know they were going back and forth about what's going to happen with Bronny James. Is he going to be staying on the Lakers route? Like they're planning on having him go now to the G League as well. So I don't know. I think they're off to a good start, and I'm not going to, like I said, I know it's early.
I love when you make your point, because that's what I want America to be like, where everybody can make their point, and your point could stand on the same table as somebody else's point, even if it's opposite. Because I think that's where you give listeners and followers and all type of people the ability to make their own choice. Yeah. So that's welcome.
Yeah.
My opinion is you wouldn't be there without LeBron. LeBron handpicked you. So you could yell at LeBron all you want. Kind of what Mase said, even good or bad, he's going to tell you calm the fuck down whenever he wants to tell you to calm the fuck down. You wouldn't be there without LeBron. Don't act like they didn't. Not you, I'm just saying America. They had a podcast together. That was his interview for us all to see. And you got picked. You think, let me tell you something, JJ Redick is very, what's the word that I'm looking for?
A pick-me coach?
Not, I mean, he got picked by LeBron, but what I'm saying, he's very like, one of these niggas like calm the fuck down.
Obnoxious.
That's the word I'm looking for. He's a very, very obnoxious coach. That's what I'm saying. He looks obnoxious.
He's Bobby Knight.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think and I'm just talking about when it comes to basketball, because I believe he's a great guy. He's a super great guy. I seen him on this podcast with a totally different personality. But you know, people who grew up playing basketball, analyzing basketball like he did now, coaching basketball, they think they know it all. Like, I think I know it all. And I didn't even play as much as JJ Redick. So they could be obnoxious. But if JJ Redick was the leader, as he seems to be for this team, if it was up to JJ Redick, LeBron wouldn't be playing. He's a high basketball IQ. He knows what's right and what's wrong.
That's a good one, Killer.
To me, if the real JJ Redick wanted to say what he wanted to do and do what he wanted to do, Bronny would have never stepped on the floor. That goes to show who runs the team.
Wow, that was a powerful take. Oh man, that was a good one. Yeah. So he has no say so. The mere fact that Bronny was out there, you have no say so, because your basketball IQ, like Stephen A. says, as a basketball savant,
right?
He doesn't belong out.
You know that.
If you're really a savant. So I don't want to hear all this savant talk and brilliant basketball mind. But they may spin that, Killer.
But what I'm saying
that's
is,
part of being brilliant, because me having this child here is what helps us to play well.
No, what I'm saying is that just goes back to LeBron running shit. That's to me. That's just to me. That's good. That's what it boils down to. Like, if we got to put this nigga's son in for him to play good and this is what we have to do. I'm not, like I said, I think JJ Redick is a brilliant basketball mind, but to me, that's more the point to show why LeBron runs the team. Because if you're this smart, and I believe you know more, me than Mase, but when I say more, not necessarily more, you have more experience than us as a professional athlete.
Yeah.
You know better.
Okay. In the comments, let us know how you guys feel about the Lakers. Now let's talk about this Netflix starting five lineup. So the cast was announced, which includes Kevin Durant, James Harden, SGA, Jaylen Brown, and Tyrese Halliburton. Mase, do you like this lineup? And whose story do you think will be the most interesting?
Halliburton is going to be fire. Because, you know, he keep the snow bunnies around. So he is going to be really interesting. I like James Harden as well. That will be a really good one. I think they put Shea up there. He got a good fashion sense. And who else you name? KD and who else?
KD. So we got KD, James Harden, SGA, Jaylen Brown, and Halliburton.
Yeah, I don't really know what we learned from Kevin Durant. He's so laid back. I'm not sure. He's a brilliant basketball mind, an excellent basketball player. but I'm not sure lifestyle wise what would be really intriguing about that. Maybe just to see what a great player does from day to day. But I really like the idea of Jaylen Brown. He seemed like a person people would want to know what his life is like, because he comes across sometimes as very intelligent, but then people put him on the controversial side. So I think he will be some that people will want to know about as well. Well, I didn't remember the fifth person you said. That was Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown,
Okay.
SGA.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Cam.
Out of everybody, I probably would want to see SGA, me personally, because name the five real quick again.
Yeah, Kevin Durant, James Harden, SGA, Jaylen Brown, and Halliburton.
Yeah, I probably want to see SGA, but just because I don't know how deep they're going to go in with the documentary and how story, if they're talking about from beginning to the NBA or following them around now, et cetera. But I'd like to see somebody do, and maybe we'll do it up here, it is what it is, the Canadian path to the NBA. Because there's a lot of players from Canada that make it to the NBA. What is their AAU system? What is their in high school system? What do they do and who do they play? Is it Vancouver against Toronto or Winnipeg or all these different, what do they call it? I can't remember. It isn't states, but British Columbia, all these different places where they have basketball at in Canada.
Yeah.
What's the route to the NBA?
What's the age limits?
Right. I mean, you're going to end up seeing their real age when they get to the NBA.
No, I'm saying the age limits of how they play. You know how we play.
Right, absolutely.
11 and under.
Right, yeah. And like you said, even overseas, not just Canada, you got professionals at 14 years old, 15 years old. So I'm really interested in the SGA story. I'm going to watch it because I'm a basketball fan and I'm fans of all the people they have on it. But it ain't going to be as if I did it or executive producer or one of us, because I want to see James Harden in a strip club. I want to see what niggas really be doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just see the Netflix.
You want the real documentary?
Yeah, if we going to do it, let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
You want to see him bump into
Little
Will.
There, Little Baby and everybody.
See how they feel.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Lil Will, Little Baby. Like, if we going to do it, let's do it, because these documentaries are only probably going to show, I got to get up at 6 a.m. for practice tomorrow. When the real shit go on, they're going to tell them, turn that shit off. They're not going to let you see what's really happening. Now, I'm going to watch, but that's the documentary I want to see. Because if you could sit there and show James Harden, and I keep using James because he's a legend in the strip clubs. If you could sit here and show James Harden go work out at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, prep for his meal prep at 5 o'clock. They have a basketball game at 7:38. He dropped 30 points, go to the strip club, leave the strip club at 5, 6, 7 in the morning, wake up and make it to practice and do it again. Niggas be like, that boy bad. That's the shit that I want to see, personally.
Get on the jet after the game.
Yeah. Yo, that nigga was tired of shit. You know, it's like we see all these players and we see the real stuff. And of course they can't say it now because you say the wrong thing, you're going to get suspended, fined, benched, etc. But I love hearing these stories how, you know, we didn't talk about it when he was up here, Vernon Maxwell. Shout out to Vernon Maxwell. People really loved that episode when he was on.
Yeah.
You know, he'll tell you half the games he was coked up. You know, nigga was high.
Yeah, nigga, like, bring my sneakers.
Yeah.
5 minutes away.
Yeah, exactly.
NBA.
Right.
Yeah.
And even like talking, like hearing people like Bill Belichick talk about former players like Lawrence Taylor, they like, yo, don't worry about if he show up or not. Just let him do what he got to do, because you know on Sundays he's going to bust ass. Niggas said Lawrence Taylor showed up to practice one day with one handcuff on because they couldn't find the key from some sexual acts that he was a part of the night before. Imagine showing up to practice with one handcuff like, yo, somebody got a lock master key? I'm here though. Because they couldn't find the key. That's the shit that I want to hear, me personally. And sometimes it's going to take till after people's career over to hear certain things. But that's what's going to interest the public, real shit. that people are going through.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Want to see James Harden's story as well. And even Halliburton. I wonder how he feels about the Snow Bunny narrative, because it's like his mom is white and his girlfriend is white. So he's going to be around a lot of white women.
The bunnies. He's on bunny patrol, definitely.
Well, I'm saying just because he's white, that doesn't mean he has to be around white women.
Well, I'm saying like he's gonna be like, I think half the time when people see those videos that he's in, it's either his girlfriend or his mom or like his cousins and stuff like that.
Oh, I get what you say. It doesn't have to be just girlfriends. It could be white women.
Like his family. Like,
no,
that's not, like, dang.
Because I was about to say
it's a narrative out there. I don't make it up.
No, I always see, fam, when he pull up to the club or wherever he pull up, 5, 6 of them jumping out of the car.
She's saying, status saying is his cousins.
Yeah. Well, listen, until Travis Kelce came up, he was around black chicks all the time. Then he had got a lotto ticket.
Hey, that's that. Okay. Last one before we close. So the Timberwolves lost to the Mavs 120-114. Mase, how do you feel about the addition of Clay to the Mavs and then the Wolves' chemistry right now with Randall and DiVincenzo?
Let me start with the Wolves. The Wolves seem like they're lost in a sense. I mean, they could turn this around. They could definitely get better, but it seemed like right now they're completely lost, trying to find a rhythm. And they're trying to play through it. That's what I do like, is that Ant-Man is not vanishing until they find themselves. I really appreciate that. He's not dimming his light so they can shine. They got to learn to shine with him as it should be. But when you look at this Dallas team, they're looking really different. I'm not seeing Kyrie as much, and I don't know what's going on there, because if you notice, every game we're talking about Luka, or we're talking about Clay. You need all three of them in order to really make a NBA championship run. So that's my view on the Mavs as a whole. And I think one of the things that really concerns me about Clay being there is that if Clay start playing well, then it may get in the mindset that they don't need one of those guards. And that's what I don't like. But I could see it. I could foresee it.
Yeah, I agree as far as Minnesota's pardon me. I agree as far as Minnesota's concerned. They got hit last minute with this trade. They might not have been ready for it as far as the players and ownership and management are probably like, y'all are professionals. Get ready to get used to it, because this is what it's about to be. And it's not really looking right. And maybe they'll figure it out. They have plenty of time. We're 4 or 5 games into the season. They have plenty of time to see what happens. But as far as Ant-Man, he's still doing what he's doing. He had 37 against them. And as far as Mase was saying, Kyrie, I just think that because Clay is new, the narrative is about Clay, and of course Luka's first team All-NBA, so they're going to talk about Luka. But Kyrie got 40 minutes against them. He scored 35 points actually last night, and Kyrie's still going to do what Kyrie do. But I think that the spotlight is kind of on Clay, because they're saying, was Golden State right not to give him the money? Is looking like a continuation from last year, and the numbers aren't coming in. People were saying, okay, you got to be honest when it comes to Kyrie and when it comes to Clay, and Luka now, because you have a shooter. But when the shooter's not snipering, he's just shooting like Jay Reed, and he's just not hitting nothing. You're going to be like, oh, maybe we can be honest with Kyrie and Luka, because this nigga ain't what he used to be. And now I'm not saying that's a fact, because I think that he has some time to figure it out. But Clay has not been the Clay Thompson.
You gotta take that headband off. It's the headband.
Maybe, man.
Yeah, I don't like headband Clay, for real. Pause.
Yeah.
You gotta take that headband off. It looked like he's searching,
Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, for the first 4 games, you're going to have a spotlight on Clay. I seen him shoot an air ball, and it was like, yo. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm like, not last night's game. It was like their second and third game, and I'm like, yo, my nigga, that ain't right. Because he missed it, with an air ball, and then they got the rebound, threw it back to him, then he missed again. I'm like, he's one of them shooters where when you get the offensive rebound,
don't miss the second.
You don't miss the second one.
Miss the first one, then hit the second
you hit the second one, and that just didn't happen. He had 7 points last night. Like I said, Luka went crazy, even though Luka had 24 points and he hit a kind of a dagger. It was still a little bit over a minute left, but Luka hit a shit from the logo, then looked at the crowd and told niggas, this what the fuck I do. in English. Nigga, this what the fuck I do. And I thought that was spectacular because I like them niggas who talk shit and can back it up. And like I said, Kyrie was Kyrie. So the Dallas Mavericks, as much as they went to the championship last year, not just us, but I see people talking about everything else where we're saying we want to see Ja Morant, and I'm talking about myself included. I want to see what Ja Morant going to do. We're going to see what happens down there with Minnesota and Ant-Man. I'm not sure if the Lakers are going to do this. Denver got Russell Westbrook. KD and them, they look healthy this year. They going to do what they supposed to do. And Dallas like, good. Y'all niggas acting like we ain't the Western Conference champions. Y'all didn't think about this last year. Good. You worry about Shea Gilda? Go ahead. Y'all have fun. And when it's all said and done, they feel that they're going to be in the Western Conference championship, if not the championship again.
Okay. Well, that is all the time that we have for today. Thank you all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. Two big necks. Like when they doing them 2 for $5.